What's going on, everybody? So today I want to talk about a strategy that you can get a bunch of hidden damage increases, or you can even go with damage reduction, size, speed. There's so many different things you can actually run with this strategy, but I personally prefer extra damage. As you all know, damage is kind of king in this game. Just run things faster, like open world or dungeons or whatever. So I'm going to talk about that because it was kind of hidden in the bug fixes on December 13th, and when we went over the patch notes and I've been creating content for all the new patch stuff, it kind of, fell by the wayside and not a lot of people know about it. So I want to show you all today. But I also got my first gift for the Brumaltine event. So I figured, you know what, let's open it on video here, see what we get from these bad boys. And we got 3 rare crests and some aspirant keys. Cool. Not a bad pack, to be honest, or not a bad little box. It's one of their better things that they've given us for free in these events. But let me just pop over to this here, put this in full screen for you guys. In December 13th, which basically dropped after I made all my videos, because I was like looking for one of these, you can see they've had a couple of things that basically gave us some bug fixes or some quality of life changes, like skipping a dungeon cutscene will now skip cutscenes for the rest of the dungeon. Great. Destruction's End is even better. Or some random other bugs. But what I want to talk about is Warband members can now select any role, and roles now stack. This is very, very important because previously you could not pick any role. You had a limit of 2, I believe, in your Warband rooms, which is a very, very important thing to look at. What does this mean for those of you that may not be super experienced with the Warband features? Well, you can see here we have a lot of different roles. We have the attacker, we have the protector, the support, and all that good stuff. So what you'll find is you can actually pick any role that you want. So if I go into here, and usually you were to previously had to basically swap players around into each of the rooms because they each had a set role. But now you can actually click on the rooms and then change the actual role selection. Now there's 2 different types of attackers, there's 2 different types of supports, there's 2 different types of survivor, 2 different types of protector. Survivor is actually a really nice one, but I want to talk about the ones that I think are my favorite. First off, attacker. This is my all-time favorite. Damage done increased by 3.5%. This goes across all portions of the game. As far as I know, I haven't actually seen it in PvP because I didn't used to be an attacker, but you can actually see the buff right here, and you can actually see all the other bonuses that you're getting. So it's very easy to tell if it's working correctly. In fact, I can actually test it in PvP here for you all when we mention it. But attack damage increased by 3.5% is an amazing, amazing buff. Jumping back into the Warband here, some other ones that I think are actually really, really good. We have the additional movement speed by 5%. It's actually really, really good. And then behind me, actually Survivor, damage taken reduced by 3.5% could be really, really good. All those ones are probably the highest value ones. The protector could be okay to have on one person. Now, the one thing about this one is I'm not exactly sure how this one works. I don't think it works unless you're in a party with them, because I don't see this on me. And as far as I've seen, when people go into the parties with me, that's when I see it active. Other than that, block chance can be decent for Crusaders. So, that's a decent one. But not only are you going to get the bonus from the attacker, you also have to manage your remnants. And this is where it becomes very, very critically important. Why do I say this? Well, you can actually pick different remnant sets for different classes. So for example, here for the protector, let's say, oh, I wanted to get the life increased by 6.5%, the damage reduction by 3%. I'm going to move myself over here actually so you guys can see. But you can see the reduction of damage, the life, and all that good stuff. Whereas if I wanted, let's say, an attacker type, you can see this one, increase your damage dealt by 1% for 2 seconds every time you deal damage, and it effect stacks up to 10 times and is removed when you take damage. You have critical hit chance by 3% above 70% total life. Or for example, this one, critical hit damage by 10% while your critical chance is greater than 70%, so really great for Crusaders. Or this one, all damage dealt by 6%, but increased damage taken by 3%. That's a really, really solid one. Looking down here, let me just check if there's anything other ones that I would really, really like. I think this was probably my favorite one. So I'm actually going to go ahead and swap these out. And I can actually go ahead and delete some of these because I don't care about them. Particularly, I'm looking for attacker type, right? I'm looking for those attacker type remnant sets, and I already have the protector one that I like. The support one, if I wanted to, I could run anything I really wanted. We could go ahead and equip this one, because this one's going to go ahead and give you some resurrection protection and also some movement speed when we use our healing potions. I don't know. I find the support one to be pretty mediocre overall. So, I wouldn't be super excited for that. However, you got some decent ones with the survivor, extra healing potions. It's kind of mediocre. Healing extra, I'm not a huge fan of these. Regardless, you have a lot of options, is all I'm saying. You have a lot of options when you're going through here. And if you get lucky, and you find a warband remnant set that has 6, 7 of the same ones, especially in the attacker variety, which obviously will be RNG, super heavy RNG, so you'd have to run a lot of them. Well, guess what? You can easily run that and have it be like your number one equipment for the remnant set in your whatever respective role you're running. Again, something like Typhorus is one of my favorite ones. This just gives you a 6% damage increase. And if you look here, again, I can show you actually in game, boom, I have a 6% damage increase and a 3.5% damage increase. That's almost 10% damage. That's almost 10% damage increase, which it doesn't show in here because it says shadow difficulty related to it. But a 10% damage increase is massive, guys. And you could just get this, just sit on it and you get it. There's nothing else to really talk about. Like, you just get it in every portion of the game. You can see we're lagging a little bit here. I'm gonna run over to the PvP test grounds here so we can actually verify whether or not you see this in PvP, because I haven't really paid too close attention to the buffs when I'm PvPing. But who knows, maybe it'll be reduced by 66%. Again, it's hard to verify, but we'll run in here and test it very, very briefly just to see whether or not I'm getting the full effectiveness of these buffs in PvP, because that's also an important indication on how valuable these are for some of you people out there. You may actually want the damage reduction because, well, damage reduction is very, very, well, much more valuable in PvP versus in PvE, as I'm sure you all have noticed. So let's go ahead and just jump in and enter the battlegrounds and see if we have that same buff. Although, guys, regardless, even if it's, bad or if it doesn't work in PvP, but let's say it does, you can easily swap at any time. And look at that, we still have the same buffs even in the PvP battlegrounds mode. And it's PvP because you have this strafe debuff, which reduces all the other attribute effects and all that type of stuff. So works at PvP, works at PvE. It's really, really powerful. You can choose whatever you want: extra movement speed, damage reduction, damage dealt, whatever you want. Be sure to take advantage of this. This makes another dynamic of the warband very, very important. So if you're not in a warband already, I highly recommend you do so. Even if you don't have anyone to be in a warband with, creating your own warband just to go ahead and get these buffs could be a potential option, or just joining someone. I know some people don't like the warband system, but it's literally free stats. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys are taking advantage of this. I know I have been for about the past week. Once I realized it, I could change it. I basically changed it immediately after the update dropped, and I've been benefiting from the extra damage done, which has been super nice for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.